Yeah, the second part actually including the parliament, composition of parliament, that is how which are the different houses in the parliament. Then they are Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Then qualification for being the member of a parliament, both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. And disqualification of membership, that is on which all conditions they will get disqualified from their position. And what are the functions of parliament, both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So these are the things that we are going to deal with in the second part of module 3. Yes. So all the legislative powers of the federal government are vested in the parliament. So as we say that we have a legislative assembly in our state, we are having a parliament at the center or union. All the legislative powers, in the sense, all the lawmaking powers of the federal government are vested in the parliament. All the laws are being made in the parliament with the support of the members in the parliament, both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So the laws framed by the Indian parliament are enforced in the whole of the country. Okay, the Parliament of India is bicameral in structure. Bicameral in the sense it will consist of two chambers. രണ്ട് chambers ഉണ്ടെന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ് it's mentioned as it is bicameral legislature. That is, it consists of two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and it will be headed by President of India. Rajya Sabha is the upper chamber of the parliament, while Lok Sabha is the lower chamber of the parliament. So this is actually the structure of parliament. Headed by president, it will be having two chambers or two houses. The upper house, which is called the Rajya Sabha, and the lower house, which is called the Lok Sabha. I think you will be familiar with how the election process is taking place for Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabhയുടെ election process നമുക്ക് അത്ര അറിയുന്നുണ്ടാവില്ല. It's actually quite different from that of Lok Sabha. Lok Sabhയിൽ നമ്മൾ വോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് ജയിപ്പിക്കുന്നതാണ് ലോക്സഭ എംപിമാർ അല്ലെ. But Rajya Sabha election process is a bit different from that. And their powers and functions are also not the same as that of Lok Sabha. They are having different powers and different functions. Okay, and there is some limitation for Rajya Sabha as well in terms of their powers. Power in the case, there is some limitation for Rajya Sabha members. So the Constitution describes the structure of Parliament in Article 79. So Article 79 in the Constitution is actually dealing with the structure of the Parliament. It states that Parliament comprises of President and two houses, that is lower house or House of People. You remember that word? Lower house or Lok Sabha is called the House of People, and upper house or Rajya Sabha is called the Council of States. House of People and Council of States. Sometimes these words will be used for in your question papers and all. Instead of Lok Sabha, it can be asked as House of People, or instead of Rajya Sabha, it can be asked as Council of States. So remember these words. Lok Sabha means the lower house or lower chamber. It's also called the House of People because the people there have been elected by the common man. നമ്മൾ elect ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് Lok Sabha members. So that is the House of People, and the upper house or Rajya Sabha or Council of States. That's actually the composition of Parliament, exactly as in this figure. So you can draw this figure if you want. Remember, നമ്മൾ എവിടുന്ന തുടങ്ങിയെന്ന് ആലോചിച്ചാണ്. We have started it from government. അല്ലെ, ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ three different ways. That is executive, we had the legislature, and then we had the judiciary. Out of that executive ന്റെ താഴെയാണ്, you remember the entire hierarchy. ആ hierarchy മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് എങ്ങനെയാണ് തുടങ്ങുന്നത്, you remember that. We have the government at first, which are having three branches like executive, legislative and judiciary. ആ executive വരുന്നതായിരുന്നു president, vice president, prime minister and council of ministers and attorney general. And the second one was legislature. അതിലാണ് ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ വരുന്നത്. ഏതൊക്കെ? Parliament of India is coming under legislature, for which we are having Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha as their houses. So dealing with the first house or the upper house of the Indian Parliament called Rajya Sabha, this house is permanent in nature as it can never be dissolved. we have two houses, as already mentioned. We are having two houses where Lok Sabha is actually temporary in nature. Temporary in nature means it has got a period. ഒരു കാലാവധിയുണ്ട് ലോക്സഭയ്ക്ക്. എത്ര വർഷമാണ്? What is the period of Lok Sabha? പറഞ്ഞോ. What is the period of Lok Sabha? ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തോ. ആർക്കും അറിയില്ല. അതിൽ okay, 5 years is the tenure of Lok Sabha. So we can say that there is temporary in nature. It's not permanent. They are not permanently being. That particular Lok Sabha will be dissolved after 5 years. Once you done your election part, they will be elected, and they can exist there for 5 years. After that, the Lok Sabha will be dissolved. Then the new election has to take place, and then new members have to get selected as MPs or members of parliament in Lok Sabha. So that is the case of Lok Sabha, that is having a temporary kind of nature. But in case of Rajya Sabha, it's having somewhat a permanent kind of nature. Permanent in the sense, not like the members are permanent. Members are permanent എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലല്ല. Rajya Sabha exists as permanent, as a permanent house. Members will be changing, but all the members will not be changing at a time. That's the point. Lok Sabha കേസിൽ 5 വർഷം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരുടെയും കാലാവധി തീരും. But that's not the case in Rajya Sabha. In case of Rajya Sabha, there is some difference that we can see here. This house is permanent in nature as it can be. It can never be dissolved completely. This is because every member elected to Rajya Sabha serves for a term of 6 years. So here there is a difference. The member elected to Rajya Sabha serves for a term of 6 years. And 1/3 of members do retire biennially, while the other members continue their tenure. So 1/3 means every 2 years, 1/3 of the members will have to retire, while the other members will continue their tenure. So there is no state like, completely എല്ലാരും retire ആയി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു empty ഒരു vacant രാജ്യസഭ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഇല്ല. Only 1/3 of the members will be retiring once in 2 years. 2 വർഷം കഴിയുമ്പം 1/3 will be retiring. അങ്ങനെയാണ് രാജ്യസഭയുടെ കേസിൽ പോവുക. So there won't be a condition where there is no member in രാജ്യസഭ. അങ്ങനെ completely dissolved ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ് രാജ്യസഭയ്ക്കില്ല. That's why we are calling it as a permanent kind of nature. So retired members are subjected to re-election. So remember that every 2 years, 1/3 of members will retire. Their term is 6 years. So the total strength is actually given. This house consists of 250 members, out of which 238 members are elected by means of single transferable vote. Remember that term, single transferable vote. It's not direct electoral system. നമ്മൾ elect ചെയ്യുന്നതല്ല directly. That is actually a different kind of electoral system that we are following in Rajya Sabha. 238 members out of 250 members, 230 members have been elected by single transferable vote. Remember that time, we will discuss that on a later session. നമുക്ക് electoral systems discuss ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് we will discuss that how the members have been elected in Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha കേസിൽ we are actually taking part in that election, and we are actually directly electing our members for Lok Sabha. But Rajya Sabha, there is some difference. There is some kind of proportionality from ഓരോ സ്റ്റേറ്റിനും, depending upon the population and depending upon number of MLAs. Okay, MLAസിന്റെ കൗണ്ട് ഒക്കെ അനുസരിച്ചാണ് ഈ പറയുന്ന മെമ്പേഴ്സ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ടോട്ടൽ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ടു രാജ്യസഭ. നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് എത്ര MLAs ഉണ്ടോ അതിന് കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു നമ്പർ ആയിരിക്കും we are electing towards a Rajya Sabha. Okay, so a bigger state will be having more representatives in the Rajya Sabha. That's it. That depends upon the population. Okay, that depends upon the population and number of MLAs in that particular state. So in total, Rajya Sabha will be having 250 members, out of which 238 members are elected by means of single transferable vote, and 12 members are nominated by the president on the advice of Council of Ministers. Okay, അങ്ങനെയാണ് 250 ആവുന്നത്. 250 മെമ്പേഴ്സിൽ 238 പേര് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സിംഗിൾ ട്രാൻസ്ഫറബിൾ വോട്ട് വഴി elected ആവുന്നതാണ്. That is actually done by MLAs of different states. Okay, അതും കൂടെ പറയാം. I mean, this election is actually Rajya Sabha election that is actually taking place with the help of MLAs of a particular state. Every state will be having some kind of proportion. Ella state in a number of Rajya Sabha members. There will be some difference in terms of the proportion in terms of the population. And the 12 members are nominated by the president on the advice of Council of Ministers. And these people will be 12 nominated members. They'll be having some kind of excellence in art, literature, sports, or anything like that. We know plenty of people of that sort. Nominated by President Rajya Sabha. So the 12 members can be nominated by the president. 238 members can be elected by single transfer vote. So that is the composition of Rajya Sabha. The members have been elected. So okay. So Article 84 of Indian Constitution provides for the qualification to become a member of Rajya Sabha. So first we have seen how many members are there in that particular house, that is upper house of parliament. What are the different qualifications that are required to become a member of Rajya Sabha? First of all, as in every other post related to government, he or she should be a citizen of India, should be at least 30 years old, be elected by Legislative Assembly of States and Union Territories. Okay, that election is Legislative Assembly of States and Union Territories. Not be a proclaimed criminal, not be a subject of insolvent. That is, he or she should not be in debt that he or she is not capable of repaying in a current manner and should have the ability to meet his or her financial expenses. So financial stability undavanam at the time, for being a candidate towards member of Rajya Sabha. Not hold any other office of profit under government of India. He should not be a member of, he should not be a part of any government organizations or any government. He should not be a government official. A government official at the time of this Rajya Sabha election. Not be of unsound mind. Then possesses such other qualifications as may be prescribed in that behalf by or under any law made by Parliament. So Parliament can definitely add on to the qualifications or take away some points from the qualification. That is actually done by Parliament. These laws എല്ലാം make ചെയ്യുന്നത് Parliament ആണ്. So Parliament എന്തൊക്കെ ഇതിന് ക്വാളിഫിക്കേഷൻസിന് വേണമെന്ന് പ്രിസ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുന്നതോ അതെല്ലാം ഈ candidates for Rajya Sabha membership ആവശ്യമാണ്. So what all are the qualifications that are set by the or set in the law made by Parliament? All those qualifications are required. Apart from these qualifications, these are the basic qualifications. That is, being a citizen of India, be at least 30 years old, be elected by the Legislative Assembly of States and Union Territories, not be a proclaimed criminal, not be subject to insolvent, not hold any other office of profit under the government of India, not be of unsound mind, possesses such other qualifications as may be prescribed by the law made by Parliament. So these are the qualifications of becoming a Rajya Sabha member. Can note these points. Coming to the disqualification terms, so Article 102 of Indian Constitution provides for the conditions on which one can be disqualified from either of the houses. It says that one must be disqualified as a member of House if he or she holds any office of profit. Okay, നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞാണ് ക്വാളിഫിക്കേഷൻ സമയത്ത് പറഞ്ഞാണ് he should not hold any post in any office, in any government office എന്നുള്ളത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. So that should be checked. If he or she holds any office of profit, he will be disqualified from the membership of Rajya Sabha. He or she is of unsound mind. He or she is discharged insolvent. he or she is not a citizen of India has voluntarily accepted the nationality of other nation. വേറൊരു രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ പൗരത്വം സ്വീകരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ he will become disqualified from this post. He or she is disqualified under any law made by Parliament. So as already mentioned, these laws അല്ലെ ഈ ക്വാളിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ഡിസ്ക്വാളിഫിക്കേഷൻസും ഒക്കെ വരുത്തുന്നത് ഐ മീൻ ആ ലോസ് ഒക്കെ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി ഇൻ ദ പാർലമെന്റിലാണ്. So based on that law, he or she can be disqualified. If any law which is going against the qualification of a particular member, then he or she can be disqualified. So these are the different disqualification points. These limitations we will see later. Now we will directly go to Lok Sabha. The provisions, now we are going to deal with the Lok Sabha, that is a lower house of parliament. We have already seen the upper house of parliament, which is Rajya Sabha, having 250 members, out of which 238 members have been elected by the state or union territories, and 12 members nominated by the President of India based on their experience in art, literature, sports, and all. So that was the composition, and we have seen the qualification and disqualification, points also. Now coming to Lok Sabha, this is the lower house. The provision of Article 331 of Indian Constitution provides for the existence of the House of People. So Rajya Sabha was called as Council of States, and this Lok Sabha is actually called House of People. And Article 331 of Indian Constitution actually provides for the existence of Lok Sabha, and shall consist of a maximum of 530 members, chosen members from different states. I mean, they are actually directly been elected by the common people. Not more than 20 members to be chosen from union territories. If President feels yes, a maximum of 530 chosen members from different states, not more than 20 members to be chosen from union territories. If President feels that there is a lack of representation of Anglo-Indian community in the parliament, he may nominate 2 members of Anglo-Indian community as well. Okay, so a maximum of 530 members from different states, not more than 20 members to be chosen from union territories. And if President feels that there is a lack of representation of Anglo-Indian community in parliament, he may nominate 2 members of Anglo-Indian community. This is how the Lok Sabha has been constituted. So just compare that. Rajya Sabhayil നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത് എത്ര members ആയിരുന്നു? What was the count? What was the count of members in Rajya Sabha? എത്രയായിരുന്നു count? 250 was the count of members in Rajya Sabha, out of which 238 have been elected or selected by the state assemblies and union territory assemblies, and 12 members who have been nominated by the president. So here we are having 530 members from different states, not more than 20 members chosen from union territories, and if president feels that there is a lack of representation of Anglo-Indian community, he can nominate 2 more members from those, from that particular Anglo-Indian community. So that's how the number of members in Lok Sabha is going. And coming to the qualifications, Article 84 of Indian Constitution sets qualifications for being a member of Lok Sabha, which are as follows. He or she should be a citizen of India and must subscribe before the Election Commission of India an oath or affirmation according to the form set out for the purpose in the 3rd schedule. And that's nothing. Citizen of India ആയിരിക്കണം, അതിനു വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ഒരു സത്യവാങ്മൂലം കൊടുക്കുക നമ്മൾ പറയില്ല. So that should be done. An affirmation has to be given to the Election Commission of India. That form is actually there in the 3rd schedule of Indian Constitution. So based on that, he should give an affirmation that he is a citizen of India. The second point is that he or she should not be less than 25 years of age. Okay, whereas it was 30 years in Rajya Sabha. So here it is should not be less than 25 years of age for being a member of Lok Sabha. He or she possesses other such qualifications as may be prescribed in that behalf any law made by Parliament. അത് എല്ലാത്തിനകത്തുണ്ട് കാരണം these qualifications obviously can be changed or amended by the Parliament. So any such things that are coming as part of laws made by Parliament, all those qualifications has to be possessed by the candidate. Then he or she should not be a proclaimed criminal, that is they should not be a convict, a confirmed debtor or otherwise disqualified by law, and he or she should have his or her name in the electoral rolls in any part of the country. Electoral roll എവിടെങ്കിലും രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഭാഗത്ത് ഇലക്ട്രൽ റോളിൽ പേരുണ്ടായിരിക്കണം ഈ കാൻഡിഡേറ്റിന്റെ. Okay. Coming to disqualifications, a member can be disqualified from being a member of parliament. നമ്മൾ ഇത് ഓൾറെഡി ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത പോയിന്റ്സ് ആണ്. There is nothing much different. Okay, first 4 points are same, and fifth one is that if he or she is violating party discipline as per 10th schedule of constitution, disqualified under Representation of People Act. So if there is a violation in terms of party discipline, it can be disqualified under Representation of People Act. And rest of the points were same as that of Rajya Sabha disqualification points. Then powers and functions of parliament. എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് പാർലമെന്റ് ഫങ്ഷൻസ് അല്ലെ പവേഴ്സ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇനി നമ്മൾ നോക്കാം. We have seen the composition of parliament including Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the qualification and disqualification. Then now we are going to see the powers and functions of parliament. Some of the points are already discussed, like it is having a bicameral legislature, having 2 houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Then parliament makes law with the help of its both the chambers. Laws passed by parliament are approved by the president and enforced in the whole country. So these are the general classification of the different kinds of powers that have been enjoyed or that have been held by the parliament. Legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers, constituent powers, judicial powers, electoral powers, and certain other powers. These are the different categories of powers that have been held by the parliament. Now we will see one by each of them starting with legislative powers. All the subjects in our constitution are divided among the state, union, and concurrent list. So you might have heard about this list, state list, union list, concurrent list എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള we have a list like that. So based on that, ആ ലിസ്റ്റിലുള്ള ഐറ്റംസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പാരാമീറ്റേഴ്സിലായിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് ലോസ് മേക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക. സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സർട്ടൻ കാറ്റഗറി ഓഫ് മാറ്റേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവും, അതിൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റിനായിരിക്കും ലോസ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക. യൂണിയൻ ലിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സർട്ടൻ മാറ്റേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ പാർലമെന്റ് ക്യാൻ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ഓർ മേക്ക് ലോസ് ഇൻ ദാറ്റ് particular matters. Concurrent list means it's actually some which are common to both state as well as union. So in concurrent list, parliamentary law is actually overriding the state legislative. So if a law is actually made on a point that is there in concurrent list, so we are having 3 different lists: state list, union list, and concurrent list. Concurrent list രണ്ടും വരും, സ്റ്റേറ്റിന്റെയും യൂണിയന്റെയും വരും പോയിന്റ്സ് വരും. So in case of concurrent list, parliamentary law is overriding the state legislative law. Concurrent list ന്റെ കേസിലാണെങ്കിലും യൂണിയൻ law or parliamentary law is actually having a say. കൂടുതൽ പ്രയോറിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പാർലമെന്ററി ലോ ആയിരിക്കും. ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ആക്ച്വലി ഓവർറൈഡ് ദ എക്സിസ്റ്റിംഗ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലെജിസ്ലേറ്റീവ് ലോ ഓൺ എനി മാറ്റർ ഇൻ ദ കൺകറന്റ് ലിസ്റ്റ്. Okay, constitution also have powers to make law with respect to state legislature in the following circumstances. നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലെജിസ്ലേച്ചറിനെ വെച്ചിട്ടും നമുക്ക് പാർലമെന്റ് ക്യാൻ മേക്ക് സം ലോസ്. ഈ പറയുന്ന സർക്കംസ്റ്റൻസസ് ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? വെൻ രാജ്യസഭ പാസസ് എ റെസൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു ദാറ്റ് എഫക്ട്, വെൻ നാഷണൽ എമർജൻസി ഈസ് അണ്ടർ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ. സോ വെൻ നാഷണൽ എമർജൻസി, അടിയന്തരാവസ്ഥ ഉള്ള സമയത്ത് പാർലമെന്റ് ക്യാൻ പാസ് or has the power to make law with respect to state legislatures. Okay. When two or more states request parliament to do so. വേറെ രണ്ട് സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾ പറയാണ് to make a law or to pass make a law with respect to the state legislature of another state. ഇപ്പം കേരളത്തിന് എതിരെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കേരളത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ഒരു ലോ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ some other states, തമിഴ്നാടും കർണാടകയും ഒരുമിച്ച് if they are requesting or asking the parliament to do so, then such a law can be made. യൂഷ്വലി സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലെജിസ്ലേച്ചർ ആണ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലിസ്റ്റിൽ വരുന്ന കാറ്റഗറീസിൽ ഉള്ള ലോസ് ഒക്കെ മേക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. യൂണിയൻ ലിസ്റ്റിൽ വരുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് പാർലമെന്റ് ലോ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇതല്ലാത്ത കുറച്ച് സാഹചര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഈ പറയുന്നത്. വേർ ദ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ പ്രൊവൈഡ്സ് പവേഴ്സ് ടു പാർലമെന്റ് ടു മേക്ക് ലോ വിത്ത് റെസ്പെക്ട് ടു സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലെജിസ്ലേച്ചർ. ഓക്കെ, ആ പറയുന്ന അത് ഏതൊക്കെ സാഹചര്യങ്ങളാണ് അങ്ങനെ ലോസ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഈ പറയുന്നത്. ഒന്ന്, രാജ്യസഭ പാസസ് എ റെസൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു ദാറ്റ് എഫക്ട്. Another is and when a national emergency is under operation. Third one is when two or more states request parliament to do so. Fourth one, when necessary to give effect to international agreements, treaties and conventions. And first one, when president's rule is in operation. ഒരു particular സംസ്ഥാനത്ത് president rule ആണ് effective ആയിട്ട് നിൽക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ then parliament can definitely create laws for that particular state. So these are the cases or circumstances when the parliament creates or makes law with respect to state legislature. Union government laws are usually parliament make here, but under certain circumstances, constitution has given the power to parliament to make laws with respect to the state legislature as well. Then executive powers. First, we have seen the legislative powers of parliament. Now we will see the executive powers. According to the parliament form of government, executive is responsible to the parliament for its acts and policies. Executive ആരാണ് നമുക്കറിയാം, including the prime minister, council of ministers, AG and all. So all they are, all those are part of executive. So they are actually responsible to the parliament. നമ്മൾ അത് already പറഞ്ഞു. These executive is actually responsible to the parliament for its acts and policies. They should have to answer the questions that have been raised from the opposition in the parliament. Parliament opposition party അല്ലെങ്കിൽ opposition leaderships ഉന്നയിക്കുന്ന ചോദ്യങ്ങൾക്കൊക്കെ ഉത്തരം പറയേണ്ടതാണ് ആര്? എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് is actually prime minister and the council of ministers. നമ്മള് പാർലമെന്റിന്റെ ഒരു പോയിന്റ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് will be prime minister and council of ministers. So hence parliament exercises control by various measures like committees, question hour, zero hour, etc. Ministers are collectively responsible to the parliament. The members of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can question the ministers in relation to their working in their respective departments about the policies and activities. The Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha can move and adopt various resolution motions such as adjournment motions, censure motions, non-conference, call attention motion. ഇതിന്റെയൊക്കെ മലയാളം ടേംസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കുറച്ച് അറിയുന്നുണ്ടാവും. അവിശ്വാസ പ്രമേയം നമ്മൾ പറയും, ദെൻ ശ്രദ്ധ ക്ഷണിക്കൽ എന്ന് പറയും, അല്ലെ? ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കുറച്ച് ടേംസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് ഇഫ് യു ആർ ഫോളോയിങ് ദ ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് ദാറ്റ് ആർ ടേക്കിംഗ് പ്ലേസ്, സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ നോക്കിയാലും മതി. സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ നമുക്ക് ഈ ടേംസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴും വി ആർ ഹാവിംഗ് നമ്മുടെ സഭാ സമ്മേളനം ഇപ്പൊ നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് വിത്ത് ന്യൂ സ്പീക്കർ. സോ ഇഫ് യു ആർ വാച്ചിങ് ദ പ്രൊസീജിയേഴ്സ് യു ക്യാൻ ക്ലിയർലി അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് സം ഓഫ് ദീസ് ടേംസ്. നോൺ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് മോഷൻ ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം, അവിശ്വാസ പ്രമേയം നമ്മൾ പറയും. ദെൻ കോൾ അറ്റൻഷൻ മോഷൻസ്, ശ്രദ്ധ ക്ഷണിക്കൽ, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കുറച്ച് ടേംസ് നമ്മുടെ സഭയിൽ എപ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് കേൾക്കാം. സോ ദീസ് ആർ ദ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് പവേഴ്സ്. എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് പവേഴ്സിന്റെ ഒരു കണ്ടന്റ് അല്ലെ കൺസേൺ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ കൗൺസിൽ ഓഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് ദ പ്രൈം മിനിസ്റ്റർ. നമ്മൾ യൂണിയന്റെ കേസ് പറയുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ദ പ്രൈം മിനിസ്റ്റർ ആൻഡ് ദ കൗൺസിൽ ഓഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് വിച്ച് ആർ ദ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ്, ദേ ആർ ആക്ച്വലി റെസ്പോൺസിബിൾ ടു ദി parliament. Okay, that is a core point. They are responsible എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ opposition can raise questions അല്ലേ? raise questions ഏത് സമയത്ത്? there is question hour, there is zero hour. so ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കുറച്ച് സമയത്ത് in the parliament the opposition can definitely question the leadership or question the ministers and prime minister. So in terms of power, Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. Then some constituent powers are also there. To amend the constitution, to pass any laws, the constitution amendments usually takes place in parliament. Only parliament is empowered to initiate any proposal for amendment of the constitution. A bill for amendment can be initiated in either house of parliament. Okay, a bill for amendment can be initiated in either house of parliament. However, the state legislature can pass a resolution requesting the parliament for the creation or abolition of legislative council in the state. Based on the resolution, the parliament can make an act for amending the constitution for that purpose. The constitutional amendment, constituent powers കൊണ്ട് actually ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് the ability or the power of the parliament to amend the constitution. Okay, amendment of constitution is actually taking place in the parliament. Certain judicial powers are also there. That is impeachment of president for violation of constitution, removal of judges of Supreme Court and High Court, removal of vice president, then punish members for breach of privilege like sitting in the house when the member knows he is not an eligible member, serving as member before taking oath, etc. So these are the judicial powers, including impeachment of president for violation of constitution. നമ്മൾ പ്രസിഡന്റിന്റെ impeachment discuss ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു the only reason by which president can be disqualified or impeachment process of president can only be due to the violation of constitution. Constitution violation എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒറ്റ reason കൊണ്ട് മാത്രമേ we can perform the impeachment process of president. Okay, so that is actually a power of parliament. Then removal of judges of Supreme Court and High Court, removal of vice president, punish members for breach of privilege like for a member even after knowing that he is not an eligible member, if he sits in the house, then that is also a punishable offense. Then if he serves as a member before taking oath, then സത്യപ്രതിജ്ഞ എടുക്കുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് തന്നെ if he serves as a member, that is also a kind of punishable offense. So these are all of the judicial powers of parliament. Then electoral powers. The electoral powers and functions of parliament are mentioned below. The elected members of parliament along with state assemblies participate in the election of president. Okay, all the members of parliament participate in the election of vice president. The Lok Sabha elects its speaker and deputy speaker. നമ്മളതിപ്പം കേരളത്തിന്റെ കേസിൽ നമ്മളിപ്പം കണ്ടതാണ് election of speaker and deputy speaker. Election of speaker basically. Then Rajya Sabha elects its deputy chairman. Members of various parliamentary committees are also elected. So these are the electoral powers and functions of parliament. Rajya Sabhയുടെ കേസിൽ who is actually the chairman in case of Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha chairman by default, who will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha? ആർക്കും അറിയില്ല who will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha? നമ്മൾ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. That someone is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabhയുടെ കേസിൽ that is been elected. We are actually electing the speaker. Who will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Anusri. Who is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha? നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തല്ലേ? ആരും ഓർക്കുന്നില്ല? Yes, vice president. Vice president of India will be the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത് electoral powerൽ Rajya Sabha elects its deputy chairman എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. Chairman will be obviously the vice president. Yeah, rest we can discuss in the next class. You can mark your attendance.